Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 25 of the Battleship Brawl Season 4 tournament. Continuing its march through the ranks is the Slapdash by a nickel. Its opponent today is a new challenger, something we haven't seen yet. It is the Scimitar of whose name shall not be pronounced by PS. Or underscore P underscore S underscore, but I'm just going to call you PS. It's actually very similar looking to the Slapdash. Where'd it go? Like, when I first loaded them in, I had to look at them, I was like, wait, is this the same ship? But no, it's definitely different. This has, 6 turrets on it. And the superstructure is a bit different. And they have a little bit of a different color scheme, but rather similar looking otherwise. It made me double take. The Scimitar here has a nice little smokestack. Oh, it looks like there's actually ammunition up in the smokestack. Interesting. Very, very flat turret caps here. Those look like they belong on a tank. Except they're way too friggin' big, but they look like they belong on a tank. I like that, the shape of those turret caps. It's got that sort of sawtooth hull shape, which is rather nice looking, emulating a true hull shape as close as we can at the moment anyway, or could when this tournament was being built for anyway. Just an absolute battery of propellers in the back there. Probably has the JBG somewhere on the inside. We got this superstructure here, which it's just for show. It doesn't have any walkability or anything, which isn't required, but it's always nice to see. I always find those little touches cool. Yeah, other than that, it's a pretty flat ship. Like, not as flat as the Montana, obviously, not even close to that flat, but like, the deck doesn't have a whole lot of details on it. It's got a nice shape, and the superstructure looks nice. But, a lot of other ships have things like the, fake secondaries and anti-aircraft guns and anchors and all that kind of stuff, and this doesn't have any of that. Very minimalist decor. But anyway, I thought I was backing up towards the Slapdash there, but nope, I was going off into the middle of nowhere because the Scimitar is already broadside. So, let's go ahead and get round 1 of this battle underway. We'll see how it goes. Slapdash doing its initial volley there. So, that's not even going to be close, because yeah, it just completely moved on to another zip code by the time those shells landed. Scimitar volleying back, landing some hits on the Slapdash. Ooh, Slapdash lost one of its rear guns there in the very first volley. That's never good. Scimitar taking some hits as well. You can see those fragments bursting all over the place. Oh, that looks like it's gonna hurt. Oh, Scimitar trying to pull some acceleration shenanigans, coming to a stop to try and dodge some shells, but they were already in the air and on the way, so they hit anyway. Pretty even match so far. Slapdash at 94%, Scimitar at 97%. The Scimitar also just lost a couple of guns. It might lose another one here. Oh, yep, it looks like that gun was indeed disabled. I think did it get penetrated through? I'm not sure. Did something... Not sure what. Oh, there we go. There's some damage. I was wondering what actually caused the gun to get disabled there. Oh, the Slapdash's guns are just annihilating the bow of the Scimitar there, doing some serious damage. Oh, another gun bites the dust. The Scimitar is quickly losing weaponry. Let's go check on the Slapdash, see how it's doing. it's that rear gun is aiming again, but I don't think it's actually online. But the quintuple barrel turrets, the main source of firepower on the Slapdash, are still pretty much fully operational. And the Scimitar is losing weapons. It's also repairing. It's repairing away, trying. But actually, the Slapdash is repairing a bit faster. It's using more of its materials. Oh, we lost the turret cap off the back of the Scimitar there. That will be expensive to fix if it's even possible. Slapdash missing some shells through the superstructure of the Scimitar there. Scimitar coming to a stop, trying to do some shell juking. It's actually moving backwards. And it's actually just kind of sitting still at this point. And now it's trying to back up again. Seems to have gotten itself into a bit of trouble where it's not actually able to move very much, and it's just kind of getting shells rained on it. Because it's not moving back and forth enough to actually evade shells. Well, it evaded some there, but you're not even moving a full ship's length before you stop and start moving backwards. All you're just doing is just moving back and forth into the shells that would have hit you anyway. Scimitar down to 83.8%. Does still have these rear guns operating. The front cannons have lost most of, like, both. It's missing 2 turret caps, and that one turret is badly damaged. Oh, and that rear gun just took a solid hit right to the face. See that explosion cord in there ripped out all the firing pieces and barrels. I think that turret is not a happy camper. Alright, let's go check on the Slapdash, see how she's doing. She's down to 91%. Has not exactly gotten away unscathed herself. Looks like this quintuple barrel turret is taking some damage, but 3 or 4 barrels are still active. This one back here, also 3 or 4 barrels, depending on whether those, oof, well, I just lost some more. Yep, I think it's still functional. The Slapdash's hull is holding up quite a bit better than the Scimitar's. The Scimitar is not doing so well. You can see all those holes, all that damage. Oh, direct hit to that gun. I don't think that's... Is it still aiming? Yeah, I think it's still aiming, but I don't know if I can actually fire anymore after that hit. Yeah, the acceleration shenanigans for the Scimitar, its stop and go fighting, you know, maneuvering style is not really doing it any favors. It's just kind of stuck in a bad position. It's having difficulty turning because it's not moving. And it is just getting hammered by the Slapdash. If this gun doesn't fire soon, I'm going to go into acceleration mode because the Scimitar seems to have been rendered combat ineffective. And there we are, folks. The Scimitar is 2 damaged. It almost went the distance. Lasted 9 minutes and 10 seconds, more or less, before it was 2 damaged and destroyed. So let's go ahead and get this restarted. We'll get round 2 underway. And we'll see if maybe the Scimitar can perform a little bit better this time, because it was started out pretty close, but then the Slapdash started landing shots to the Scimitar's guns, and yeah, it's pretty hard to win when all of your weapons get disabled. Slapdash taking some hits there. Ooh, it's a quintuple barreled turret back here, took some damage. So did this one, but the armor seems to have held over here. Ooh, that is a big loss of firepower there. Quintuple barreled turrets are taking a beating. Oh, the rear turret on the Slapdash is also disabled. Oh, that shot went right in through the face of this turret. I'm surprised the cap stayed on. We've got some gauge damage on one of the guns over there. It's rapid firing absolutely teeny tiny little piddly explosives. Those aren't going to do anything. Oh, see, this time the Scimitar is at 97%. The Slapdash is down to 90.8. Oh, wow. Both of its rear turrets are offlining, including one of the quintuple-barreled guns. This other quintuple-barreled one is not doing so well. It's lost all but 2 barrels. So over half of the Slapdash's armament is gone. Ooh, that may have been a gun lost for the, nope, it's still up. That one was already disabled. Oh, these front guns, you're aiming the wrong way. Like, if you'd turn the other direction, you could fire right now. Firing restrictions. They aren't set up properly. Oh, and that turret cap just got popped off. This time the Scimitar is repairing much more quickly than the Slapdash, or at least using its materials more quickly. Oh, Slapdash down to 1 barrel on its quintuple-barreled turret, and then... Ooh. Oh, and there it goes. Both quintuple-barreled turrets on the Slapdash have been disabled. The only thing left is this forward-mounted triple-barrel turret. Oh, what? Wait, well... I mean, it's active, it's firing, but it has no gauge. Oh! Oh, Slapdash taking a good hit right there. Losing most of its barrels, but it looks like the gun is still active. Actually managing to survive that hit. The bow of the Slapdash taking some damage. It's a fairly close match right now, but the Scimitar does have an 8% lead. All these guns in the front here, like this gun has an active barrel, it could be firing, but the turret is facing the wrong way. I don't know how big of a difference that would really make given the state of things. The Scimitar definitely has the upper hand right now. But its lead, it's actually staying pretty steady at the moment. Slapdash landing a shell to the Scimitar's deck there, another one coming in. Oh, that one missed. Both ships have used all of their materials for repairs. Oh, that may have been a gun strike. Yep, that is another barrel knocked off the Scimitar. Let's go check on the Slapdash. Shells going over the Slapdash, just barely missing. Slapdash has got some listing issues, though. But its main problem is that it only has this one turret left. Everything else is done. It is severely outgunned, and that is why it's losing by 8% health. Yeah, the Slapdash's only hope was to take out some of those turrets. Not the front one, Slapdash. These guns up here, they aren't doing anything. I mean, this is a full gun here, undamaged, and it's not doing anything because it's been facing the wrong way for the past like 5 minutes. Because both ships are sailing in the same direction, so what's happening is the shortest distance to rotate the target is still clockwise from the orientation I'm looking at it right now. So they're trying to turn that direction, clockwise, to get there. But they can't, because there's, you know, stuff in the way. And because both of these ships are sailing in the same direction, just slugging it out broadside with each other. Uh-oh. The Slapdash has lost that gun. But yeah, since they're both sailing the same direction, just slugging it out, that state is not changing. That shortest distance is always the same direction. So they never stop trying. They never try to go the other way because firing restrictions were not set properly. Not that it matters. The Slapdash is behind by 20% health, and it has no guns remaining, so we're going to go ahead and speed it up until the Slapdash is sunk, or the timer runs out. And there we are, folks. This round has expired. The 10-minute time limit has been reached. So this battle is over with the Scimitar, the victor, with a 30% lead. The Slapdash did manage to survive, but it has been defeated in round 2. So we are actually going to a round 3. Go ahead and get this underway and see how it's going to go. Slapdash firing off that initial volley, which is, you know, going to miss. It always does. Well, at least against the Scimitar. I'm not sure if it's aiming at the spawn stick or if it's just aiming at where the Scimitar was, because the Scimitar was sitting still at first. Slapdash taking some hefty hits, 95% health loss, or 5% health lost. That rear turret disabled once again. Oh, that's a big old volley of shells. Looks like the quintuple barrel turret there took some damage, but it was not disabled. The barbette armor there is pretty strong to be able to withstand that onslaught with only barrel damage. Oh, but the rear quintuple barrel is offline. It's had some serious damage done to that big gun. Oh, but the Scimitar just had a turret cap get popped off. It's very prone to that, it seems. Well, the Scimitar is turning and pulling all of its frontal armament out of its arc. Slapdash is down 12% health. It has gotten hammered on pretty heavily. So much gun damage. Those are some really high arcing shells coming off the Scimitar. Like, those are halfway to outer space. Look at that plunging fire. And they all missed. There must be some serious barrel damage on a gun over here for shells to be arcing that high. Something. Well, once again, we see the Scimitar's frontal armament is facing the wrong direction. If it hadn't done so much gun damage to the Slapdash so quickly this round, that could make it lose. Like, half of its armament is just pointing the wrong way and not doing anything. Oh, there we go. One of the guns realized, hey, I can turn this way. Shells were heading right for that turret, but the armor absorbed the blast. I mean, the armor's got a big old hole in it now, but the gun's still alive, and that's the important thing. Meanwhile, Slapdash is down to 80%, while the Scimitar's at 99.9. It's like, I think the Slapdash pissed off the Scimitar with that first victory. It's like, you know what? I ain't taking it easy on you next time. Slapdash is just getting hammered, and it only has this one turret to fire back with. The Scimitar is out of materials, but with only that one gun, like, this is one of those situations where even if the Scimitar's guns just stopped firing right now, I don't know that the Slapdash has enough of its armament left to catch up in the 6 minutes that's remaining. And of course, the Scimitar's guns are not going to just stop firing. They're going to keep laying the pain into the Slapdash. Oh! Well, the gun survived. It lost some barrels. It's impressive that these turrets are able to take a direct hit like that and only take barrel damage. It really is. Oh, looks like the Slapdash has gone dead in the water. Oh, I had a complete turret pop back here. That's gonna knock down its health quite a bit. And there we are, folks. That is the end of round 3 with the Scimitar ahead by 25%, 25.1 to be exact. So it is the victor of round 3, which means it is the victor of the match. It has defeated the Slapdash by a nickel. Oh yeah, the Slapdash is not looking good after that fight. Man, that was a good battle, a good brawl. But it kind of came down to who damaged whose weapons first. That's how evenly matched these ships were, basically. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Check out the stuff down in the description below if you think either of these ships are pretty enough and look good enough to be in the Hall of Beauty. You can vote for them down there in the description. I've also got all the links to the forum, Discord, Patreon, all that good stuff. It's down there, so, you know, go ahead and check it out. And I'll see you on the battlefield.